Every swordsman feels like an underdog, and that's good. Every time I step into sparring against someone clearly better than me, I feel like the underdog here. That quiet voice that always in the back of my mind, which says, I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready to face this dude right here, right now. I am the underdog here. And I've been feeling it since my first training session ever with a longsword. And honestly, I still feel it. And I think this is one of the best things ever that happened to my sword fighting. If you don't know me yet, hi, I'm a cousin and I've been training longsword for over 2.5 years in historical European martial arts through competing in tournaments and of course sparring with better opponents than me. This video is for anyone who've ever been feeling like the worst fencer in the club, the worst fencer or fighter in the group, like the biggest piece of shit, which, being honest, is probably all of you. Yes, you, the one who actually watches this video. Yes, I'm speaking to you directly. I also have a free community called START SWORDFIGHTING, the link in the description. And if you join it right now, I will personally reach out to you to help with your sword fighting progress. So number one is where it started for me. When I started HEMA, I lost a lot, like really a lot, against everyone who's been training HEMA, so longsword, more than me. I was training, of course, in low gear sparring environment, so with a padded longsword and a fencing mask, and none of this extra gear that you see on me right now. And I've been outclassed by everyone inside of the group when I attended these classes, by people who had simply been training longer than me. But even then, I had a belief, like a thing in the back of my mind, which also said that if I just stick to training, if I just stick to showing up, I will get better eventually, right? And that knowing is what actually the underdog mentality is. It actually kept me sane when I wasn't seeing the results that I wanted to see back then, when the results weren't there yet, or at least I haven't seen them. Of course, there was something extra that also surprised me in a way, which is, of course, the underdog feeling didn't just keep me humble. It also made me to appreciate every small win, every clean hit that I've managed to land, every small improvement that I managed to notice myself. So it gave me kind of like a weird ego boost in a way. I clearly knew that I had to push harder, that I had nothing else to lose, really. I was the underdog. So that means that every small win ever that I've got back then was a huge thing that actually helped me to push through that stage. So when I did something good, it felt enormous. So it felt even more motivating to push forward. So I appreciated every small improvement far more than I do right now. I was earning for a success from a position where nobody expected something from me, including me at the times. Being the underdog strips away any expectations for how you're supposed to perform. Like, it strips away your pressure of bad performance. And without that pressure, or specifically lowering that pressure, helped me to fight more freer in a way. The second point is about me transitioning to steel. So feeling like an underdog all over again. Just when I started feeling like I had real confidence with a longsword while being in low gear sparring environment, so with a padded sword and a fencing mask, I transitioned to full gear with steel feather swords, with full heavy gear, with a fencing mask, with an extra overlay on top of it, with heavier gloves. And of course, I felt like the underdog all over again, like completely from scratch. The sword was a lot heavier than a padded thing. Heavy lobster gloves that I also used for sparring also pushed me down when I tried to do simple movements with a sword back then. And of course, the consequences of bad technique and tiring out way faster than I've used to was kinda unmotivational. So the consequences of bad decisions were obvious right away for me. Everything that I managed to build in low gear had to be rebuilt under completely different physical demands. Of course, the underdog feeling came back in full force. And to be honest with you, it was exactly that I needed in that stage, because it forced me to start with the right mindset all over again. So I needed to stay humble. I needed to stay hungry for success. And of course, it made me to pay attention to everything. In general, every level up in HEMA that you ever go through means that you like your feeling of feeling like an underdog will repeat itself time and time again. That means that the system is working like it should. Number 3 is about the problem that this channel changed it, but it didn't kill it. After low gear, I started to publish videos on this channel, right? To grow my audience. And of course, something started to shift. The moment that I went, or specifically the stage, where I went from being just purely a student to someone who thousands of people look up to for an advice, the underdog feeling got a bit more complicated. It became harder to feel like a complete newcomer, a complete beginner, when thousands of people go here to watch me and seek my advice on how to get better at sword fighting. And of course, I won't pretend otherwise. This channel changed how I feel right now as a fencer. But here's what it didn't change. It didn't kill the entire underdog feeling in me, because I still walk into my HEMA club and I'm training alongside people, alongside my friends who are way, way better than me. The guys who have far more experience than me. People who actually outperform me in most of the situations in combat, because most of them have been doing this longer than me. When I think about it, it kinda reminds me of, I have somewhat like an Ezio Auditore arc. Ezio, he was a student, he tried to learn to be a master assassin, he became a master assassin, and then he became a mentor for the Assassin's Brotherhood throughout the Italy. But Ezio never stopped fighting against opponents who were far better than him, and neither do I. So the underdog feeling inside of me just found a more specific address, in a sense. It lives on the training floor now, not in this YouTube channel. Number 4 is that even the best feel it. The best swordsman in the world feel like an underdog also. The ones who are fighting for the gold medals in all of the hardest Europe tournaments and in America as well. They feel it too, trust me. So imagine this, you're standing across from an opponent with everything on the line, and that means that nobody feels invincible, including you. Nobody walks into a tournament thinking that the outcome is guaranteed. And that means that the underdog feeling is present even there. It keeps your ego in check. Even for the best guys in the world, they know how to hold their ego back before the judge actually says who scored the point. And that's exactly what makes their performance way, way better. I also think of it like a dopamine. Like there's a clear comparison to dopamine and delayed gratification. The dopamine of postponed pleasure in a way. So me personally, I delay feeling like a champion before I win the exchange. I hold it back, but keep it just out of reach to feel the drive, to keep attention to what I need to do to actually win. And that tension drives every decision that I make in a fight. And there's also one thing that I'm pretty surprised that no one is still talking about, which is that the scary opponent standing across the arena has the same fucking process inside of their mind, just like you. They feel the same quiet voice that is telling them that they should focus on the fight right now. They are not the winner yet. They feel the same pressure. They know that if they make a mistake, they need to adjust as quickly as possible to then score a point. So the same underdog energy is in every best swordsman. Even if they're ranked higher than me or you, even if they won more tournaments than me or you. In short, everyone is the underdog until the fight is over. That is the whole game. So the moment that I stop feeling like an underdog is the moment that I know that I already lost. It's the moment that I stop being actually dangerous in combat, because that means that I've stopped being hungry, that I've stopped paying attention. Which actually gets to my 5th point, which is what the underdog feeling does for me. So the first thing is that it keeps my ego in check. An unchecked ego is the first or the last thing in sparring that gets me hit. Second thing is that it makes me pay attention to what is happening, to adjust quickly to what is happening to win in a sword fight. I can't afford to be lazy, neither do you. I can't just coast, I can't just assume anything. Number 3 is that it makes winning actually meaningful for me. So every clean hit, every good parry riposte, every good distance management, every small adjustment that I can feel that is improving how I fight. It makes every match that I win far better, like it lands better, or every tournament milestone that I get to, because I didn't really feel entitled to it. And also it drives my preparation better. When I feel like the underdog, I feel like I need to prepare properly. So I show up consistently for the class. I don't skip classes whatsoever. I don't skip my training that I need to go through to get better. And also it keeps me coachable. Yes, even your coaches need coaches. I keep myself open. I listen to the advice from the people who are better than me, because I know clearly that I don't have all the answers yet. And of course, the last thing is that it never fully goes away. The drive never fully goes away either. So the underdog feeling and the hunger to improve with a sword are the same feeling. They are not contradictory. They go in pair with each other. I don't get the one without the other. And my last point is for anyone who's been feeling like a complete piece of shit. If you're in that place right now, so losing constantly to the same people, feeling like the worst fencer in your group, or feeling like you'll never catch up to those guys that you look up to, also wondering if this is actually for you, like the pursuit of getting better at HEMA, I want to say something directly to you. Yes, to the one who is watching this video. Yes, you, my dear viewer. Listen, every single person inside of your club have been in this exact situation before. All of them were been exactly where you are right now. Yes, right now, including the ones who look effortless now. So the underdog feeling isn't a sign that you don't belong here. You have to treat it like a sign that you're honest about your progress. You're honest about where you are. And that honesty, believe me, is the real foundation of every improvement ever. Specifically, every improvement that you'll ever make. So all of the people who quit are the ones who haven't been having a healthy relationship with their underdog feeling. The people who couldn't make peace with the feeling, and the people who stay and eventually become so better that other people are looking up to them are the ones who have been using it the right way, who learned to use it specifically. So my honest advice for you is still keep showing up, still keep training, and keep losing until you stop losing so much, and then keep going anyway. This is how I became better. There is no like specific advice than to just struggle with getting beaten in a sword fight and then learning from it, so growing afterwards. So the underdog feeling inside of you doesn't disappear whatsoever, but your relationship with it can change. You have the power over it, and that specific change is what growth actually looks like. So believe me, every swordsman ever feels like an underdog. The good ones never stop feeling it, and the great ones have learned how to be grateful for it. So if you're in that underdog stage right now and you want my structured help and the community with other guys who feel like it, then come and find me in the link in the description, which is my free community called START SWORDFIGHTING. If you join it right now, I will personally reach out to you. But also, inside of the community, I also posted a structured guide on how to start training a longsword in HEMA from the very, very beginning. So if you don't know where to start, how to begin, which gear to get, then come and join right there, and you can watch through it completely for free. You just have to be active inside of the community, and that's all. Also, special thanks to all of the members inside of the membership group of this channel called The Vanguard. Special thanks for you guys. So one last thing, an honest thing. I know what it feels like to be the underdog. I was there a few years ago, specifically 2.5 years ago, and I clearly know how to push through it because I've made it. If you want my private mentorship on how to get started with longsword or how to progress from a beginner stage to intermediate, I also coach people. Of course, not for free, right? But it's an entire package of me looking at what you already know, how to help you privately, right? Understand your context of your training and get you actually results. So you can find me inside of the community right there. All right. And remember, always take the initiative.